Jaya Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Would somebody like to read?
I can read.
Okay, thank you.
Thus Rāmānanda Rāya Caitanya Mahaprabhu talked for the entire night. They sometimes danced, sometimes sang, and sometimes cried. After they had passed the night in this way, at dawn, Rāmānanda Rāya returned to his place. The next evening, he returned to see Caitanya Mahaprabhu. After discussing Krishna for some time, Rāmānanda Rāya fell at the feet of the Lord and said, "My dear Lord, you are so kind to me that you have taught me about the science of Krishna, the science of Radharani, the science of their loving affairs, the science of their rasa dance, and the science of their pastime. I never thought that I should be able to speak on these subject matters. You have taught me as you formerly taught the Vedas to Brahma."
So Rāmānanda is not saying that I taught you. Huh? He's saying you have taught me. Because it's Rāmānanda who's been answering Lord Chaitanya's questions, but he understands that he's speaking by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. So he's being grateful for that mercy. He's not saying, oh yeah, see, I'm so great, I know all this.
This is the system of receiving instruction from Super Soul. Externally, he is not to be seen, but internally, he speaks to the devotee. That is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 10.10. The Lord dictates from within to anyone who is sincerely engaged in his service, and the Lord acts in such a way that such a person can ultimately attain the supreme goal of life. When Brahma was born, there was no one to instruct him. Therefore, the Supreme Lord himself instructed Brahma in Vedic knowledge through Brahma's heart. In Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.22, Sukadev Goswami confirms that Gayatri Mantra was first imparted within the heart of Brahma by the Supreme Lord Sukadev Goswami, then prays to the Lord to similarly help him speak Srimad Bhagavatam before Maharaj Parikshit.
So the original speaker of the Vedas is Krishna. He spoke the Vedas in the heart of Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaya Ya Adi Kavaya. The first canto, first chapter, first verse of Bhagavatam. Srila Vyasadeva says that. And Prabhupada is quoting here Bhagavad Gita 10.10 that Krishna helps one. Krishna helps. He makes the arrangement. When he sees sincerity, Krishna sees somebody sincere to understand the absolute truth, then Krishna makes the arrangement.
Hare Krishna. So the Gayatri Mantra is the first mantra that was given to Lord Brahma.
That's what's mentioned here. Yeah.
That was
Confirms
the
that the Gayatri Mantra was first given to Brahma. Yeah.
So it is also the very first mantra?
Yeah. Because Brahma is the first created being. But we have to understand that not everyone is qualified to chant the Gayatri. One has to be on the level of a Brahmana to be able to chant Gayatri. But Hare Krishna mantra, everyone can chant. One has to be qualified to be chanting. Otherwise the Gayatri will not have the potency. So one has to be on that Brahmanical platform to be able to chant Gayatri. But Hare Krishna mantra can be chanted by anyone, everyone, anywhere, everywhere, at any time. That's why we are recommended to chant the Hare Krishna mantra.
Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna. The first verse of the first chanto of Srimad Bhagavatam describes the Supreme Absolute Truth as he who instructed Brahma through the heart. In that verse, Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Srimad Bhagavatam, states, "Let me offer my respectful obeisances to Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the cause of the cosmic manifestation and its maintenance and dissolution as well." If we scrutinizingly try to understand the Supreme Truth, we can understand that He knows everything directly and indirectly. He is the only Supreme Personality, and it is He only who is fully independent. He alone instructed Brahma as the super soul within. Even the greatest scholars become bewildered in trying to understand the Supreme Truth, because the entire perceivable cosmic manifestation is situated within Him. This material manifestation, a byproduct of fire, water, air, and earth, only appears to be factual. It is in Him alone that the spiritual material manifestation as well as the living entities rest. Therefore, He is the Supreme Truth.
So this is the first canto, first chapter, first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Janmadhyasya Yata, which begins by Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So right in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva tells us who is Krishna, who is God, what's his name. He tells us what is the position of God, what is the relationship of the material nature with him. So right in the beginning, Vyasadeva is telling us about the Supreme Lord. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the son of Vasudeva. That he is the one who is creating this material manifestation, this material world. There's a creator behind this material world, and that creator is Krishna. Krishna creates, maintains, and as also dissolves it, annihilates it. Krishna, he knows the past, present, and future. We may think we know it, but Krishna actually knows the past, present, and future. And he's independent. We think we are independent. We think, oh, nobody can tell me what to do. I know what I have to do. Don't tell me. I know what I have to do. But we don't understand that we are controlled by the modes of nature when we are here in the material world. So we have to either be under the material energy or spiritual energy. The choice is ours. Whose control we want to be under. We want to be under Krishna's control directly, under control of his spiritual energy, or control of the modes of nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. But Krishna, no, he's fully independent. He doesn't have to be under anyone. He's Swaraj. We think we are independent, but actually it's Krishna who is fully independent. He can do anything as his will, as he's creating, maintaining, and dissolving the material worlds by his will. Then one may say, oh, what? He's putting us through suffering just for what's happening. It's his will and he's making us suffer. But we have to understand it's because it's our desire. We desire to be here in the material world. That's why he lets us be here. If we desire to go to the spiritual world, Krishna makes the arrangement. So if we try to understand Krishna by just dry philosophy or speculation, we will not be able to understand the absolute truth. We will be bewildered. We can understand him easily by devotion, by hearing from the authorities. So Krishna is the supreme truth.
Rāmānanda Rāya continued speaking to Lord Chaitanya. "First I saw you as a sannyasi, and then I saw you as a cowherd boy. Now I see before you a golden doll, and due to its presence, your complexion has become golden. Yet I also see you as a dark-complexioned cowherd boy. Will you kindly explain why I am seeing you in this way? Please tell me without reservation." It is the nature of highly elevated devotees to see Krishna in everything. Lord Chaitanya replied, whenever they see anything, they do not see the form of that particular thing. They see Krishna. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.45. Can you help me to read?
Sarvabhuteshu. Yes, please.
Sorry, can you help me to read, Shilpa?
Yes. Sarvabhuteshu ya pashyet bhagavad bhavam atmana bhutani bhagavati atmani esha bhagavatottamaha.
One who is highly elevated in devotional service sees the super soul Krishna, who is the soul of all individual souls. A similar passage is found in the 10th canto, 10.35.9, where it is stated that when Krishna came before the creepers, plants, and trees of Vrindavan, which were laden with flowers and fruits, because he was the soul of their soul, they all bent down in the ecstasy of love for him and became thorny.
So Rāmānanda is saying, I saw you as sannyasi, then I saw you as cowherd boy. And now I'm seeing a golden doll. And now what happened? Now, because of that golden doll, then you're also looking golden. But you also are looking like this dark cowherd boy. Can you tell me why am I seeing all this? And Lord Chaitanya is saying, no. It's because when somebody has love for Krishna, they see Krishna everywhere. That's why you're seeing like that. He's quoting this from Bhagavatam. When one is highly developed in devotional service. So when one has revived his love for Krishna, as Lord Brahma says in Brahma Samhita, Premanjana Charita Bhakti Vilochenena. When one has love for Krishna, when one's eyes are anointed with love for Krishna, then one can see Krishna everywhere.
Because you have the highest conception of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, Lord Chaitanya concluded, you are seeing Radha Krishna everywhere. Rāmānanda Rāya replied, Sir, I request that you not try to hide yourself. I understand that you have accepted the complexion and mode of thinking of Srimati Radha Rani, and that you are trying to understand yourself from her viewpoint. You have invented yourself to take this point of view. Although you have incarnated mainly to understand your own self, you are at the same time distributing love of Krishna to the world. Now you have personally come here to deliver me. I request you not to try to deceive me. It is not good for you.
So we can see Raya Ramananda because he's on that platform that he's able to understand the truth. He's able to understand, oh, this is Krishna. And he's trying to understand himself. That how does Radharani see me? What qualities she sees in me? What is the love she feels for me? He's trying to understand that. And that's the reason he's come as Lord Chaitanya. And Raya Ramananda understands this most confidential reason why Lord Chaitanya appeared. And he said, of course, at the same time, you're distributing love of Krishna to the world.
Being very satisfied, Lord Chaitanya smiled and showed Ramananda Rai his real form as the combination of Sri Radha and Krishna, a form he had never before shown anyone else. Thus, Lord Chaitanya was Sri Krishna himself, with the external features of Srimati Radharani. His transcendental ability to become two and then to become one again was revealed to Ramananda Rai. Those who are fortunate enough to understand Lord Chaitanya as well as the pastimes of Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan are able, by the mercy of Sri Rupa Goswami, to know the real identity of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Srila Prabhupada is telling us how, we need the mercy of the Goswamis, mercy of Srila Rupa Goswami to be able to understand Lord Chaitanya. And then by mercy of Lord Chaitanya, one can understand Radha and Krishna. And how to get the mercy of 6 Goswamis? You need to get the mercy of the pure devotees. Follow the instructions.
Upon seeing this unique feature of Lord Chaitanya, Rāmānanda Rai fainted and fell to the floor. Lord Chaitanya then touched him, and he came to his senses. Rāmānanda Rai was surprised to see Lord Chaitanya in his mendicant dress again. Lord Chaitanya embraced him and pacified him and said that Rāmānanda was the only one to have seen this form. Because you have understood the purpose of my incarnation, you are privileged to have seen this particular feature of my personality. The Lord said, My dear Rāmānanda, I am not a different person with a fair complexion, a Gaura Purusha. I am the self-same Krishna, the son of Maharaj Nanda, and due to contact with the body of Srimati Radharani, I have now assumed this form. Srimati Radharani does not touch anyone but Krishna. Therefore, she has influenced me with her complexion, mind, and words. In this way, I'm just trying to understand the transcendental flavor of her relationship with Krishna.
So Lord Chaitanya actually showed his form to Rāya Rāmānanda of Radha and Krishna, and then again the combined form of Lord Chaitanya. And he's saying, I'm not different. It's not that Lord Chaitanya is different than Krishna. It's Krishna. But why is he golden? Because of mood of Radha. He's taking her emotion. There is no difference between Lord Chaitanya and Lord Krishna. Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna nahi anya. They are the same. So one may say that I am Lord Chaitanya. In Kali Yuga, we all want to be incarnations of God, but then they should be able to show us this most amazing form of Radha Krishna.
The fact is that both Krishna and Lord Chaitanya are the original personality of Godhead. Therefore, no one should try to separate Lord Chaitanya from Krishna, Sri Krishna. In his form of Sri Krishna, he is the supreme enjoyer, and in his form of Lord Chaitanya, he is the supreme enjoyer. No one can be more super excellently attractive than Sri Krishna, and no one but Sri Krishna can enjoy the supreme form of devotion, Srimati Radharani. All Vishnu form, but Sri Krishna lacked this ability. In Caitanya Caritamita, Adilila 4.82, it is said that Srimati Radharani is the only personality who can infuse Govinda with transcendental pleasure. Thus, Srimati Radharani is the chief of all the damsels of Raja who love Govinda, the supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna.
So Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, and he enjoys unlimitedly with his own internal potency, Srimati Radharani. He is the only one who can give her joy, and she is the only one who can completely satisfy him, because she is his own internal potency. She's not different than him.
Please rest assured that I have nothing to hide from you, Lord Chaitanya told Rāmānanda. Even if I do try to hide something from you, you are such an advanced devotee that you can understand all my secrets. I request that you please keep them secret and do not disclose them to anyone. If they were revealed, everyone would consider me a madman. The facts that the facts I have disclosed to you cannot be understood by materialistic person. Were they to hear of them, they would simply laugh at me. But you can understand these secrets. Please keep them to yourself. From a materialistic point of view, a devotee in the ecstasy of love for Krishna is mad. Both you and I are just like madmen. So please don't disclose these facts to ordinary men. If you do, they will surely laugh at you.
Lord Chaitanya, because we feel so much ecstasy that the doctor, they said, oh, he's gone mad. Why? Because there's too much air, imbalance of the air in his body. That's why he's having this ecstatic symptoms. This was before he took sannyas, after he came from Gaya, after he took initiation from Ishwarapuri. So then he was telling devotee, the doctors saying I've gone mad. And then the devotee was like, oh, if this is madness, then even I want to be mad like this. I want to be mad in love with Krishna. But as Lord Chaitanya is saying, that one who's on the materialistic platform will not understand it, because this is completely on the spiritual platform. It is ecstasy. Actually, we are like mad people. Why? Because we have forgotten who we truly are, and we are behaving as we are the body. So in fact, we are acting like mad people. Like a case of mistaken identity,
Lord Chaitanya passed 10 nights with Rāmānanda Rāya, enjoying his company by discussing the pastimes of Krishna and Radha. The discussions between them were on the highest level of love for Krishna. Some of these talks are described, but most of them could not be described. In the Caitanya Caritamita, their talks have been compared to a metallurgic examination. The metals are studied in the following sequence: first copper, then bronze, then silver, then gold, and at last touchstone. The preliminary discussions between Lord Chaitanya and Rāmānanda Rāya are considered to be like copper, and the higher discussions are considered to be like gold. The fifth and the highest dimension of their discussions, however, is considered to be like touchstone. If one is very eager to progress higher and higher to the position of highest metallurgist, one must begin with an inquiry into the qualities of copper, then progress to bronze, then to silver, to gold, and so on.
So Prabhupada is pointing out that the talks get confidential, more confidential, most confident, like sweeter, like how the metals are. Okay, it's a metal, then it gets more valuable, more valuable, more valuable, then most valuable. So like that, as they were diving deeper, they were churning more and more the pastimes. And that's how the talks became more and more sweeter, more and more sweeter.
So this was all before Lord Chaitanya took sannyas, is it?
No, this is after. It is
After, right? After,
Yeah,
no?
this is this is after he's taken sannyas. He's
Like
traveling. He's
bad.
after. I'm sorry.
Earlier you said like he before the sannyasi.
That was when he had not yet taken sannyas. That pastime had happened. After he came back from Gaya, he went there to offer Shraddh for his father. Then there he
right.
Ishwarapuri, and he came back, he was completely transformed. So he had not yet taken sannyas, but before he went to Gaya, he was just like a logician, and mostly like an impersonalist, grammar and all that.
Yeah.
After he came back, then he became in love, like he
So then
was
that
acting.
conversation was with Rāmānanda Rāya was after he came back from Gaya, but he had not taken still. He had not become a sannyasi.
That conversation was not that time with Rāmānanda Rāya. I think it was with Srivas Thakur. It's now that he's telling Rāmānanda Rāya that people will think I'm a madman.
He is telling, okay.
Yeah, but that time he had said it to another devotee, and because I can't remember the name of the devotee, the Sachimata called the doctor. He was behaving. No. That was one time, and now is another time. Yeah.
Okay.
So then,
The next day, Lord Chaitanya asked Rāmānanda Rāya to allow him to return to Jagannath Puri. For the rest of our lives, we can remain together at Jagannath Puri and pass our time in discussing Krishna. Lord Chaitanya then embraced Rāmānanda Rāya and sent him to his own place. In the morning, the Lord prepared to start on his journey south. He had met Rāmānanda Rāya on the river bank near a temple of Hanuman. After visiting that temple, he left. As long as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained at Vidyanagara, all kinds of people met him, and by his grace, everyone became a devotee of the Supreme Lord. After Lord Chaitanya's departure, Rāmānanda Rāya became overwhelmed due to his separation from the Lord, and he immediately decided to retire from service so he could meet the Lord again at Jagannath Puri. The discussions between Rāmānanda Rāya and Lord Chaitanya deal with the most concentrated form of devotional service. By hearing these discussions, one can understand the pastimes of Sri Radha and Krishna, as well as the confidential role played by Lord Chaitanya. One who is fortunate enough to have faith in these discussions can enter into transcendental association of Radha and Krishna.
Jai. Lord Chaitanya ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. I think that brings us to the end of the book. Yeah. So with that, we complete teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Did you all want to add anything, share any realizations, share your experience of reading the book? Did it help?
A lot. I mean, I think, I'm not sure, I just realized that Lord Radha was always beside, Radha was always besides Krishna here in Lord Chaitanya. That's why he was golden. That's what I just realized.
Yeah, he's come. Yes, he's taken her mood. So he is in her mood. Yes.
Mm.
Yes,
So
he's
always with her.
yes. And now he's feeling what she is feeling, because as Krishna, he cannot feel it. But when he's taking her mood, then he can feel what she's feeling. Yes. Thank you so much for reading this wonderful book together. Let's stop here. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.